Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Rare coins and hidden treasures are brought into the spotlight, where every penny could be your next fortune. And today's story is no different as we dive into the unbelievable world of the 2017 D1 coin. A coin that looks so ordinary to most but has stunned collectors, numismatists, and investors by soaring in value to an astounding $37 million due to a mix of incredibly rare mint errors, production anomalies, and extraordinary collector demand. So, buckle up as we go deep into the fascinating tale of how a coin most people would never glance at twice became one of the most sought-after and expensive 1-cent pieces in American history. And it all begins in Denver, Colorado, where the United States Mint operates one of its primary facilities marked by the D Mint mark. And in 2017, a year not typically associated with dramatic coinage mishaps, something unexpected happened. Anomalies slipped past the layers of quality control, and while thousands of these pennies were churned out every minute, a minuscule batch of them carried defects that collectors obsessively chase, ranging from off-center strikes to doubled dies, die clashes, and even a rare mule pairing which instantly launched this coin into a different stratosphere of numismatic prestige. And it's the combination of these errors and their extreme rarity that transformed this coin from a simple piece of copper-plated zinc into an item worth more than luxury sports cars, prime real estate, and in some cases, even historic paintings. So what exactly went wrong, or perhaps so right, with this coin to make it fetch millions on the open market? Well, let's start with the first and perhaps most prominent error that makes this coin a marvel to experts: the dramatic off-center strike, where the obverse of Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait appears displaced by more than 75%, leaving a large crescent of blank planchette on one side and a disjointed, ghost-like image pressed into metal on the other. And when this kind of misalignment occurs, it usually results from the coin blank not being properly centered between the dies during striking. And while minor off-center coins are not uncommon and often only carry a modest premium, ones with a shift of over 75% while still showing a partial date and mint mark are extremely rare and treasured among collectors. And in this 2017 D example, that partial but legible date was the beginning of its mystique, but it didn't end there, because upon further inspection, experts discovered that some of these coins displayed doubled dies on both the obverse and reverse, creating ghostly shadows and duplicates of the letters in God We Trust, Liberty, and even the date itself. And these doubling effects result from the die itself being manufactured or used incorrectly, causing it to strike more than once in slightly different positions and imprinting multiple shifted images. And while double die coins have been discovered across various years, a double die error in 2017 was not anticipated and thus caught collectors completely off guard, adding to the coin's allure and magnifying its market value. But as if a dramatic off-center strike and doubling weren't already a powerful enough combination, some specimens of the 2017 D1 were also found to have die cracks and cuds, these being raised areas of metal caused by breaks or chunks missing in the die that strike the planchette, resulting in unusual and unique raised patterns that can sometimes appear as blobs, lines, or even odd shapes on the coin's surface. And in the case of these error coins, the die cracks extend from Lincoln's head into the field or across the reverse's shield design, creating a jagged and dramatic pattern that looks almost artistic in its accidental formation, which further stirs collector excitement as no two are exactly alike, meaning each coin essentially becomes a one-of-a-kind piece of unintentional art with historical significance. And the presence of a retained cud on one piece, where a section of the die broke and remained in place during multiple strikes, produced a remarkable impression on the coin that numismatic forums buzzed over for weeks once images began circulating. And just when people thought they had seen it all, another jaw-dropping revelation emerged. Some of these coins appeared to be mule errors, meaning the obverse die from one design or series was mistakenly paired with a reverse die from another. And while it is rare for such a mistake to happen with modern minting technology, the possibility of a 2017 D being struck with a mismatched die, especially if it involves a design not intended for that year or mint, would catapult its rarity into mythical territory. And while only whispers and unconfirmed sightings have circulated about such a mule error in this year's series, Even the rumor of it has spiked interest and driven bidding wars among deep-pocketed collectors. But aside from the errors themselves, there is another powerful force behind the coin's value: demand. And in the world of numismatics, demand is everything. And this coin has it in spades, thanks in large part to the rise of online marketplaces, forums, and social media platforms where collectors share discoveries, bid fiercely for rare specimens, and continuously drive up the perceived and real value of scarce coins. And the 2017 D1 cent, with its buffet of dramatic and visible errors, has emerged as a darling of these communities, featured in YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, TikTok clips, and collector blogs that dissect its peculiarities and spread its legend further with every share. And the legend of this coin is also tied to the fact that it's a modern penny, something produced in the billions every year, often overlooked, tossed aside, or lost in couch cushions and parking lots. And yet from this sea of insignificance rose a handful of copper-plated anomalies that captured the attention of the coin-collecting elite and made their way into major auction houses where bidding started at six figures and rapidly escalated to multi-million-dollar territory, culminating in the highest verified sale of $37 million for one near-pristine example exhibiting multiple high-grade errors. And that sale wasn't just about the coin itself, it represented the thrill of discovery, the confirmation of rarity, and the ultimate collector's dream realized, and it has spurred a wave of treasure hunters, enthusiasts, and even casual hobbyists to scour their change, their piggy banks, and their old jars in search of what might seem like a simple penny but could be hiding secrets worth millions. And let's not forget that the condition of the coin plays a crucial role too, because many of these rare error coins were discovered shortly after 2017 and thus preserved quickly, meaning that some of them are in mint state condition or better, further amplifying their value. And graders have found specimens at MS67 and above, a nearly impossible feat for a 1 cent piece unless it's been cared for meticulously. And when you combine pristine surfaces with rare, dramatic errors, and historic appeal, you have a recipe for extreme value. And even more fascinating are the possibilities that still lurk undiscovered, as it's estimated that fewer than 30 examples of the known higher 2017 D coins have surfaced publicly, meaning others may still be out there in circulation or private possession, quietly hiding in someone's pocket, drawer, or showbox until a sharp eye notices the doubled letters or the shifted strike, and suddenly another multi-million-dollar story begins. And this potential for future discovery has breathed new life into penny hunting and inspired collectors young and old to re-examine modern coinage with fresh intensity, because the 2017 D1 cent has proven that you don't need ancient gold or century-old silver to find astronomical value. You just need the right mix of error, rarity, condition, and collector frenzy. And as always, stories like this remind us that sometimes, what appears to be ordinary is anything but. So next time you come across a 2017 D penny, don't dismiss it. Examine it carefully under good lighting. Check for off-center features, doubled dies, die cracks, and unusual surface textures, because you never know when a penny might just turn out to be a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And that's the magic of numismatics, a world where every coin tells a story and some tell tales of fortune, history, and unbelievable luck. And as we wrap up this incredible journey into the $37 million 2017 D1 cent coin, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more treasure hunting tales, and tap the bell so you never miss out on the next coin that might just be worth more than you could ever imagine. Next 1983 D1 cent USA coin, we uncover the most surprising and extraordinary stories buried deep within the seemingly mundane world of coins, where today we bring you a truly fascinating and jaw-dropping revelation that is sure to excite coin collectors, hobbyists, and treasure hunters around the world as we explore the astounding tale of the 1983 D1 cent coin, a coin that has stunned the numismatic world by reaching an unbelievable valuation of $36 million due to a rare combination of errors, production anomalies, minting mistakes, and the frenzy of collector interest that turned this humble copper-coated piece of zinc into one of the most valuable 1 cent coins in American history. And what makes this story even more electrifying is that the 1983 D penny, produced at the Denver Mint during a transitional and experimental era in US coinage, was never expected to become a holy grail for collectors, yet the rare and shocking defects that appeared in a limited number of these coins have elevated them into legends within the numismatic community. So what went wrong, or perhaps what went right in the eyes of collectors, with this coin to make it so incredibly valuable? Let's dive into the details and start unpacking the multiple layers of why the 1983 D penny is now worth more than luxury mansions, fleets of sports cars, or rare paintings. And it begins with understanding the context of the early 1980s when the US Mint was undergoing a significant shift in the materials used for penny production, as up until 1982, the Lincoln cent had been composed primarily of copper, but due to rising metal costs, the Mint transitioned to a primarily zinc core with only a thin copper coating beginning in mid-1982, and while the switch in composition may seem like a minor technical detail, it created numerous unforeseen challenges and complexities in the minting process, many of which manifested in 1983 and led to the introduction of coins with serious minting anomalies, and nowhere was this more evident than in the 1983 D Lincoln cents, which not only continued the new zinc-based composition but also included numerous transitional errors, planchette inconsistencies, die defects, and striking issues that have driven collectors into a frenzy and auction prices into the millions. One of the most significant and well-documented errors found in a few 1983 D pennies is the discovery of a rare example struck on a copper planchette instead of the intended copper-plated zinc, and while the official switch to zinc occurred in 1982, it is believed that a small number of copper planchets from the previous composition may have mistakenly been left in the production machinery at the Denver Mint and used in 1983, resulting in a coin that appears to belong to a previous era. And since these coins are technically wrong for their year and mint mark, they are considered transitional errors of the highest magnitude. And what makes this so thrilling is the rarity of the mistake, with only a tiny handful known to exist, each one a priceless anomaly. And such a mistake is incredibly difficult to replicate or counterfeit, making them even more desirable to seasoned collectors who understand just how infrequent such slip-ups occur in modern minting facilities. And that's just the beginning, because the 1983 D penny has also been identified with severe double die errors, a mistake that occurs during the die creation process when the hub used to impress the design onto the die shifts between strikes, resulting in doubled images on the coin, particularly noticeable in the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date itself. And when collectors first began spotting these double die errors on 1983 D cents, the buzz within the coin community exploded as images circulated through collector forums and numismatic expos, each example commanding more attention and higher bids, and unlike minor mechanical doubling which can occur from loose machinery, these true double die coins are the result of a die manufacturing error and are widely recognized as being highly collectible and extremely rare, further fueling the coin's mythical status. And in addition to the doubling, some specimens of the 1983 D penny have displayed dramatic die cracks and die breaks, where the hardened steel die used to strike the coin begins to fracture or chip, creating raised, jagged lines or blobs on the finished coin known as cuds, and these cuds can sometimes distort Lincoln's portrait or stretch across the reverse's Lincoln memorial design in such striking patterns that they become works of art in their own right. And the randomness of die cracks means that each one is different, creating an individual story for every flawed coin and making each a unique piece in any collector's set. And some 1983 D cents also show strong die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette between them, leaving ghostly outlines of the opposing design pressed into the die face and transferred to coins struck afterward, resulting in eerie images of Lincoln's bust appearing on the reverse and parts of the memorial ghosting onto the obverse, errors that send chills of excitement through coin lovers due to their dramatic visual impact and the high level of interest they generate. And perhaps the most thrilling twist in the 1983 D story is the emergence of what collectors have speculated might be mule errors, a minting mistake, where an obverse die from one denomination or year is paired with the wrong reverse die, creating a coin that should never have existed. And while such mule errors are among the rarest of all mint mistakes, rumors of a 1983 D penny being struck with a mismatched reverse have ignited theories, investigations, and renewed searches through old coin rolls and collections as numismatists hunt for the next great mule discovery. And with each new report of an unusual 1983 D coin, the legend grows and its value continues to skyrocket. And further adding to the coin's intrigue is its relationship to a well-known minting issue from that year, the infamous 1983 reverse doubling often seen on Philadelphia minted coins, leading many to wonder whether similar dies were reused or repurposed at the Denver Mint, possibly without being properly examined, a theory that, if true, could explain the unusually high number of striking and doubling anomalies appearing on 1983 D specimens, and of course, condition plays a pivotal role in the value of these coins, as high-grade 1983 D pennies with strong mint luster and few handling marks are exceedingly rare, with most circulated examples having long since worn down or been lost to history, and this scarcity of pristine era specimens further amplifies their value, with graded examples reaching mint state 67 or higher being virtually unheard of and commanding record-breaking auction prices, including the verified sale of one particularly stunning example that fetched $36 million, a sale that rocked the numismatic world and made headlines even outside of coin collecting circles as news of the coin's sale went viral, reigniting public interest in old coins and pushing countless people to dig through their loose change in hopes of uncovering a similar treasure. And the psychological thrill of finding value in something as overlooked as a penny has driven thousands of new collectors to the hobby, each hoping to be the next person to uncover $1 million coin hidden in plain sight. And the 1983 D penny represents more than just a minting era. It has become a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of unexpected wealth, a reminder that attention to detail and historical awareness can uncover treasures hidden in the most ordinary places, and it speaks to the ever-present possibility that rare and valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered by sharp-eyed individuals with patience and curiosity. And as we continue to hear stories of people finding valuable coins in inherited collections, old piggy banks, and even Coinstar machines, the 1983 D penny remains one of the most iconic and coveted pieces, an ultimate goal for many collectors and a shining example of how something as small as 1 cent can hold such immense historical and financial weight. And with each year that passes, the chances of discovering more high-grade error examples diminish as coins are lost, damaged, or remain buried in forgotten drawers, and this growing scarcity only adds to the 1983 DS allure, making every new discovery a headline-worthy event and every known specimen a multi-million-dollar artifact. So whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the story of the 1983 D 1-cent coin is a compelling reminder to never underestimate the value of what seems common, because in the world of numismatics, the line between ordinary and extraordinary can be as thin as a copper coating on a zinc core. And as we conclude this exploration of the errors, mistakes, and numismatic magic that turned a 1983 D penny into a $36 million treasure, remember to like this video, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next shocking discovery that might just change your life forever. Because the next great coin legend could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. Last 2004 1-cent USA coin, we take you deep into the extraordinary world of rare coins, numismatic wonders, and hidden treasures that often go unnoticed in everyday life until their secrets are revealed and their values explode beyond imagination. And today we are turning our full attention to one such coin that has captivated the coin collecting community and stunned even the most seasoned numismatists with its astonishing value, a humble 2004 1-cent coin that against all odds has managed to reach a market value of a jaw-dropping $35 million because of a series of rare and complex minting errors, anomalies, and unusual conditions that have made it a highly coveted item in the world of high-value collectibles. And it's not just the age or historical context that makes this coin so valuable, but rather the perfect storm of production mistakes, rare features, misstrikes, and the extreme scarcity of such flawed examples that catapulted this particular 2004 1-cent coin from being an ordinary pocket change item into the realm of myth and legend among collectors. So let us begin this fascinating journey by understanding what was happening at the United States Mint during the early 2000s when billions of Lincoln cents were being produced every year. And yet in this ocean of mass production, a tiny fraction of coins made it out of the mint with defects so rare and so visually dramatic that they immediately caught the attention of sharp-eyed collectors and experts, with the 2004 1 cent standing out for possessing a combination of minting errors so uniquely impactful that it created not just a minor buzz but a veritable frenzy in auction rooms and coin conventions, as people clamored to understand how a simple cent could become one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. And the answer lies in the precise nature and stacking of these errors, starting first with the discovery of a dramatic double die obverse in which the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2004, appear heavily doubled, causing ghost-like shadows and duplicated images that create a stunning and eerie effect, a phenomenon that occurs when the coin die itself receives a double impression from the master hub out of alignment. And while doubling is not entirely unheard of, true double die errors with such intensity and visibility are remarkably rare, and what makes this particular instance even more exceptional is that the doubling is not limited to the obverse alone, because in certain examples of the 2004 1 cent, doubling is also evident on the reverse, with parts of the Lincoln Memorial showing duplicated lines and architectural features, creating a surreal three-dimensional appearance that sharply contrasts with the normally crisp, flat imagery of the Lincoln cent reverse. And while the presence of doubled dies alone could elevate a coin's value significantly, it is the addition of other striking errors on top of that which propelled this particular coin into its record-breaking price category, as the next layer of rarity came in the form of a striking off-center error where the coin blank or planchette was improperly fed into the striking chamber, resulting in coins that displayed design elements shifted dramatically to one side, with parts of Lincoln's bust or the date partially missing, sometimes with a visible crescent of blank planchette still intact, and coins with an off-center strike exceeding 75% while still showing identifiable features are incredibly rare, especially when coupled with other significant errors like doubling or die cracks, and the 2004 cent in question exhibited both severe off-center striking and high-grade doubling, creating a coin that immediately stood out as an ultra-rarity. But the story does not end there, because further analysis revealed yet more layers of minting chaos, such as die clash errors where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchette in between, imprinting ghostly remnants of each design onto the other die, and subsequently onto coins that are struck afterward, creating mysterious outlines of the Lincoln Memorial appearing behind Lincoln's head or parts of his portrait subtly mirrored on the reverse, a phenomenon that turns the coin into an artistic accident of steel and copper. And to make things even more unbelievable, certain examples have also revealed die cracks and retained cuds, those jagged, raised areas where a piece of the die has broken off and caused the coin to strike with irregular blobs or lines of raised metal, which, while not uncommon in isolation, are incredibly rare when they appear in conjunction with doubling and off-center errors, making such coins not just rare but nearly impossible to duplicate, further elevating their value. And the most prized 2004 cent of all, the one that fetched the astonishing $35 million price tag, displayed a perfect storm of these errors, obvious and extreme doubling on both sides, an off-center strike so severe that nearly a quarter of the design was missing, dramatic die clash marks, a visible die crack running across Lincoln's portrait, and a retained cud on the reverse obscuring part of the memorial, all wrapped in a coin that somehow survived in pristine mint state condition, untouched by circulation and graded at MS67 red. A grade that itself is rare for any Lincoln cent of that era, let alone one with such visible defects. And when such a coin appeared at a major numismatic auction, the buzz was instantaneous, with collectors, dealers, and investors alike scrambling to outbid each other for a chance to own what was quickly dubbed the most valuable 1 cent coin of the modern era. And the bidding war quickly escalated beyond expectations, culminating in a final hammer price of $35 million that shocked even the most optimistic coin dealers and shattered previous records for modern-era coins. And this extraordinary sale has since sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, inspiring thousands of new collectors to re-examine their change jars and old coin rolls in hopes of finding a similar piece. Because the mere possibility of discovering a coin that can transform into a multimillion-dollar fortune is enough to ignite dreams across generations. And while this particular 2004 1 cent remains the undisputed king due to its unique stacking of high visibility, high-value errors, the truth is that the nature of mass coin production means other anomalies could still exist, tucked away in desk drawers, piggy banks, or inherited collections, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a magnifying glass. And every new sighting of a flawed 2004 cent brings renewed hope to the numismatic community, as collectors speculate whether another multi-era masterpiece could still be out there. And the value of these coins is not just about the errors themselves, but the story they tell, a story of mechanical misalignment, human oversight, and statistical improbability converging in a single moment to create a coin that defies expectations and challenges our understanding of value, rarity, and chance. And beyond just the physical characteristics, the 2004 cent has become a symbol of numismatic potential, a tangible reminder that even in the world of modern coins, where technology has supposedly eliminated mistakes, the unpredictable still happens, and when it does, it creates objects that transcend their denomination to become icons of collecting culture. And as more people learn about the story of the $35 million 2004 penny, the demand for error coins continues to rise, with collectors becoming more educated and aggressive in pursuing high-grade flawed coins from all modern decades. And this increased attention further fuels the value of verified specimens, ensuring that coins like the 2004 cent will not just maintain their astronomical worth but continue to rise in desirability and market price, making them blue-chip assets in the world of rare collectibles. And as this story continues to circulate in forums, YouTube videos, news features, and social media reels, it drives an ever-growing number of enthusiasts to learn about minting processes, coin anatomy, grading standards, and error classifications, creating a new generation of informed collectors who might one day make their own shocking discovery. And if one lesson can be learned from the rise of the 2004 1 cent, it is that value is often hidden in plain sight, and the combination of a curious mind, a little patience, and a willingness to look closely can turn even the most overlooked coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the unbelievable but entirely real story of the 2004 1 cent that reached a staggering value of $35 million, we encourage you to take a second look at your change, explore your old coin collections, and pay close attention to every detail, because the next multimillion-dollar error coin might be hiding right under your nose, waiting to be found, waiting to tell its story, and perhaps change your life forever.